Saludos, amigos. Kash, President and CEO of Kash International Luxury Real Estate. Guys, how are you doing? Hope all is great. I'm going to be sharing a clip of a client call with you, okay? I've already talked to my clients. I'm going to leave their names out of it, but it's really, really useful information, and they asked some amazing questions. So what I was able to do for them was give them some insight into why you pick Las Terrenas or why you don't, why you pick Cana or why you don't, okay? Because not everything is made for everyone. So what I do, which is unique, is I bring you three of the top markets. And how do I bring that to you? I bring it to you because I've lived in all of these markets, okay? So the two markets that we're discussing here is Las Terrenas versus Cana. All right, I do have a ton of clients that are diversifying. They're going across the board. Some are choosing to stay in the Las Terrenas market or shift to this market or vice versa. And like I'm saying, for everyone, it is a little bit different. For example, Bry, who is in the Las Terrenas market, would never live in Cana. No interest, would never do it, okay? And you have a lot of people like that. And then you have, for example, Carlos, who's my director of operations over here. He wouldn't live in the Las Terrenas market. Would they both visit each individual market? Absolutely. They would go back and forth. They love both markets, but what we're talking about here on this call is my clients are planning their retirement strategy. Okay, their retirement strategy and which one is sustainable long-term living for them, okay? Then they also want to figure out for their friends and family to come and visit. So we're going to touch base on that. We're going to touch base on some of the investments they have, some strategies if you've bought pre-construction, when you get rid of it, what's a good time. Specifically, my clients have bought in PBR, Applied Buy-in Residence, my exclusive project over there in Las Terrenas Oceanfront. So we're talking a little bit of strategy back and forth. I want to, and I confirmed it with them, they were totally cool with sharing this information with you, okay? Knowledge is power, and that's what's key. What we do here ourselves is we share this information with you because it is part of that process. We don't charge for it. We don't do anything like that. It is part of the process of you learning because we went through that as well. What I find is this sort of information, these kind of client calls, when they're very directed towards questions that I get all the time, I'll go ahead and share those with you as long as the clients are okay with it. So we're going to leave names out, but we're going to be talking about a comparison between, do you keep your unit, your pre-construction project in Las Terrenas? When is a good time to sell it? What is the best time to capitalize on that investment? And or should you keep it long term and just rent it out because of cash flow? All depends. Location. Also, the other thing we talked about, which was really key, is when is a good time to invest in Cana? We know Cana has taken off. We know it's going to keep growing, but when is that right time to invest? If you wait, are you going to miss the boat? We kind of talk about all those things, okay? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to have you guys listen in to this one. Hope it helps, and send me a direct WhatsApp directly if you have any questions, okay? I'll get back to you and help you guys out and help you analyze it. Again, guys, this is part of the service that we offer. We want to make sure that you're an informed buyer. Let's jump into it. Let's go. Let me think. Let me kind of break that down in my mind. So you're saying, so you know what? Let me digress a little bit, and I'll go to the couple that owns a penthouse in PBR, Applied Buy-in Residences, and also bought my 2-bedroom here in Cana. They have never been, so they bought sight unseen. They've never been here. They've only watched my videos, and yesterday was the first time that they came into this area. So in their mind, what they had of Punta Cana is kind of what everybody else kind of thinks it is. It's all-inclusive resorts. That's what everybody kind of thinks and feels. Even I was guilty of that. But when they got here yesterday, they're like, holy crap, this is where we want to be. So in their mind, the way they look at Las Terrenas, and this would be other North Americans, is they love Las Terrenas. They spend a lot of time in Las Terrenas. They said, we love Las Terrenas, but we could never live there, is what they said. After going back and forth numerous times, they're like, we can't imagine living in Las Terrenas. It's just not, there's just not enough amenities for us to live long term. Will we love to go for 2 weeks, a week, a month? Absolutely. Okay. And that is kind of the consistency of the message. Is it going to be a great ROI for you, like a return on your investment? Absolutely. You know, because people want to go there for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month. But do people want to live there long term is a different thing. Now, have you seen Bry? He's my director of operations over there in Las Terrenas. Everybody's different because Bry could never imagine leaving Las Terrenas. He loves it and loves living there too. I'm going to say the masses, like North Americans specifically, they appreciate the amenities of being in Punta Cana. They can visualize living here long term. Easy in and out access to the airport. That's a big one. That's what helps drive this market too, because you can fly to like 90 different countries from this airport, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So People really, that's important to people. The healthcare, it's a spot that someone could, like your situation, retire and move to and kind of seamlessly continue on their life in the Dominican Republic versus Las Trenes is a learning curve, right? You got to kind of get
Hmm.
yourself up to speed. You got to understand like there's motos, and it's a different pace of life that most North Americans haven't been around. Now, some people love that. Some people want a vacation there. They don't want to live there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's going to happen with your property in Las Trenes? It's going to appreciate, absolutely, because Las Trenes is growing. You can see the big hotels are starting to dabble in there, like the Marriott's right next door to your property over there.
Yeah.
Hilton is coming. Hyatt is managing the all inclusive. So the big brands are coming. The Ritz Carlton is supposed to be coming down there as well. So there's all these things that are happening, and the price that means prices are going to go up, especially oceanfront property. Those are you're going to see like yours is going to continue to climb. It's going to rent all the time. So for passive income sake, I don't think you want to rush into the aspect of getting rid of it because it's
Yep.
going to rent and it's going to cash flow and it's going to appreciate. Um,
Okay.
Now, when you look at Cap Cana, Punta Espada is finished. It's one of the top 50 golf courses in the world. The next Jack Nicklaus golf course is opening, which is where this Bonita Beach is. That's called Las Iguanas Golf Course. That's Jack Nicklaus as well. Cap Cana is at like the tip of it's hasn't even matured to where it needs to be. So prices are going to continue to escalate. That's a forecast. They're going to continue to grow because a lot of people, like for example, my clients that came in yesterday, they never even been here before. So it's the first time. So you have to look at the world and say, so many people have not been here yet. So that means the upside is really, really, really good. And that's
Yep.
why you see a lot of development because developers are doing their research and they're saying the world doesn't even really know about this yet. Um, so buying in a few years, I think it's fair to say, and I don't have a crystal ball because I don't know what's going to happen in the world globally, right? But I
Yep.
think prices are just going to continue to climb. I don't see
Yep.
prices starting to taper, especially if, and this is what's key, if you can secure like you need to get that ocean view. If you were looking at something here and it didn't have an ocean view, and you were purely like buying on budget, and you said, I don't care about an ocean view, we're going to use it ourselves, we're not trying to rent it, then, it works. But if you want to try to rent it and it's going to be passive income, you're going to live here at some point, you really have to see the ocean. That's what's key.
Yep.
So anything that can see the ocean is going to continue to appreciate. That's kind of my thing. So do you wait? Of course, you could wait and see what happens, but I think the see what happens part is prices are going to continue to rise. You know,
Yep.
so that kind of makes
I
sense. I think that was kind of like what you were
well,
asking
a
me
hundred.
there.
Yeah, 100%. We 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 realize that whatever we end up doing, we're not going to make a mistake. We're going to be in a place that we really love.
Hmm.
We've just gone back and forth between. All right, well, let's just let's buy a place in Cap Cana, and then we can just spend a month if we want on the tail end or on the front
Hmm.
end in Terrenas and get our quiet beach time.
Exactly.
Um,
Absolutely.
but what we talk about a lot is we want our friends and family to come visit us and
Hmm.
use our place. And CapCon is just so much easier to have somebody hop on a plane and be there on a direct flight from Connecticut and 12 minutes to our place. So
And as we get age, like we're all aging, and that's kind of the whole thing. As you get into like those, you get into your 70s and you start getting into your 80s, you don't want to be in Las Trenas. So if it is part of like your strategy, like, hey, this is retirement, this is going to be where we spend, let's say, 8 months a year. As you get older and older, you kind of have that exit strategy from planet Earth.
yeah,
And Las Trenas doesn't satisfy that exit strategy for me, right?
yep, yep,
I can't imagine being like 75 and saying, this is the smart decision to live here, right? Because at
yeah,
any
yeah,
point, I need major medical. I could, have a heart attack. Who knows what the heck could happen to me at that point? So I like to know that I can get somewhere quick. The amenities are good, and I can get on a plane. And if I need to get major medical, you're on a plane. You go wherever you want. Within 10 minutes, you could be on an airplane, being shipped out of here. Las Trenas, you got some problems. You're not in 10 minutes. You're not going anywhere. Right. So keep that in mind too, and that's kind of why I
yep.
want to ask you like your usage. If it's like, hey, we kind of think this is our like grow old. This is the spot. Then it's definitely Cap Cana. Uh,
Okay.
and you're saying friends and family. It's very easy for them to come, and as they age too, you don't want to be sitting in Las Trenas. You got your grandparents coming down, and God forbid something happens. You
Yeah,
know, You got to drive through the mountains and get them to Santo Domingo. Yeah, of course, there are healthcare services, insurance policies that will like airlift people, but you still got a process that you got to get through, right, to even get to that point. So keep that in mind as well. That product, and I've stressed it to them, is what I don't like about that product for you guys, because you're not just strictly investors that
Yeah.
don't are never going to use it. Some people are never going to use their places they buy here. It's purely passive income. They could care less if they ever step foot into it. That's a good product,
Yeah.
then, right? That's
It
not your case.
just didn't feel like our place.
No, it's just not for your usage. What you want to do, it doesn't fit.
We'd like to meet people
Exactly.
and you know,
Like be part
your
of a
question.
community,
Hi,
right? Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, correct.
I didn't know you were there. Okay,
good.
hi.
Thanks. I didn't want to, rush in.
No,
First of all,
all
I
good.
appreciate your patience with us.
Don't mention
I
it.
so our sounds like we really want Cap Cana as our go-to when we would vacation in Las Terrenas. So is
Yeah.
now the time to sell PBR?
I don't know if this is the time. If the cash flow is not absolutely critical to do this, then you're better keeping your money in place there and letting it mature more, letting the Marriott really get ramped up, let the people start coming, and because Marriott hasn't ramped up fully. Okay, I don't know if people are staying there yet even. I think you get further along on the project because your money is going to grow there. That's a for sure, and especially as the project moves along, it's only going to grow. So it's a good spot to park your money. That's the thing. It's a good spot to park it. It's a very safe spot to park it as well. If you get out too soon, there's still like so you guys have the ability to visualize obviously because you bought pre-construction and you bought dirt
Yep.
essentially, right? So because you
Yep.
bought that, you are going to reap the rewards of it. And obviously the project is a great project. You can see how we're going, like things are moving fast. It'll be done I think by next September, October, maybe November.
Nice.
A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people have a lot of trouble buying something they can't see. So you're going to appeal to the masses the further along you are. Okay. When someone can walk into your unit and they can see, like, oh, this is where the kitchen is, this is where this is. You have more buyers that are going to look at it. So
Okay.
if you're not in a rush to, if the cash flow part of it is not mission critical for you, then I would say you wait and we keep it listed at a higher price. And you never know if someone has vision and they're going to be visiting the Marriott because you can't buy in the Marriott,
Mhm.
and they fall in love, they'll pay whatever you want them to pay because of the location. So the last thing you want to do is like let's leave 25K or 50K on the table just because of
Right.
maybe a quick decision if you didn't need it. Now it's different if you're like, hey, to buy this we need to sell that, different story, but you're going to leave some money on the table in that process, right?
Okay. I think we're kind of in between. We probably do need the money, but I guess depending on the Bonita Beach project
Mhm.
is a ways away, correct?
And
From
that is what I was going to say. The benefit you have there is you're like 3 years out on that one because they're building Bonita Golf, okay? And they're doing it great. They're flying. These guys are awesome as well. So they're doing Bonita Golf, which is on the other side of the golf course, which has
Yep.
no ocean views, but it is spectacular property. So he'll talk to you a little bit about that. Bonita Beach is what they're going to start next. Not next, but in tandem. So you got about what they're saying is 3 years. That's good because it buys you that time to scale into the project. You basically would reserve, if we can go through the whole process with Rodrigo, I'll be on the phone with you too.
Yep.
Pick a unit, narrow down, let's say top 5 units you like based on price and views, and then kind of narrow that down. You've got time, right? And that works in your favor. So by then, highly likely that you end up selling that unit, right? There's a really good possibility that you end up selling PBR before then, if
Okay.
you even want to, depending on the cash flow. The passive income might just be too great, possibility. And then also, I will, work it on my angle, explain your situation to them. I'll explain it to him offline. We don't have to talk about it on that call. But separately, I can explain to him like, hey, they got this. This is the plan. This is what they might do. And then kind of sell that and see if we can break those payments up more. But just let me know your ideal situation once you get the
Okay.
payment structure from them. It's in the information that I sent you though. I believe
Okay.
it's in there. The payment structure. But the benefit you have is 3 years out. And by then, what's great is the golf course Las Iguanas Golf Course will be fully finished. Most of the construction in that area is going to be done. So now the appreciation is just inherent. And of course, I say in my videos too, like, I don't have a crystal ball. Just, when I look at it all, it's only going up. Now, God forbid something crazy happens or in the world, and that's a different story. But if everything stays consistent, that's going to be, I think Cap Cana is going to be like one of the premier areas where people are going to move to with the intent to retire as well, right? And we know that population's booming right now.
Yeah, for sure. We talk about it. My wife wants to move there now and get away from all these crazy people here.
Yeah,
No, I
I would
know.
move right away. It's just the problem. We have kids and grandkids that I really love, and I can't
Yeah.
leave them, and I can't come with us.
You know what? And that's another advantage of this area too for you is that fact is that it's easy access for people. They hop on a plane. Hey, come down and see me tomorrow, and they show up right the next day. Where Las Vegas doesn't allow that accessibility. So that you guys, you haven't been here yet. Whatever you've seen in the videos, just for reference sake, is my clients same things that just bought the 2-bedroom that I had in Punta Palmera. They'd never been here, and they're like, "This is better than we ever thought. This
Wow.
blows away what we even thought it was going to be." And you did
The
a good
video-
job in the videos.
Like unbelievable, like hard to imagine the beauty of the place. So I can't imagine it being even more.
Yeah, they were just blown away. And for me, I was a little anxious because it's not. They were also buying my place too, right? The place that I lived in. So and they really trusted me. So for me, I was like, Shh, hopefully everything that I said was delivered like to what they understood, and hopefully they love it.
Yeah.
And that it was more than that. So I can feel confident that others are probably going to feel the same way.
Great.
All right, that's
All
very
right.
helpful.
So game
Yeah,
plan
thank you.
wise, this would be my game plan. This is what I would say strategy wise. I think we don't make a hasty decision on PBR because it's sold out. Okay, most people don't want to sell. There's one bedroom. Guy fell in love with Cap Cana, and he's willing he wants to let go of his 1 bedroom. He is asking like 290 or 285. It's only one, and that's only because he fell in love with Cap Cana and he would need the money. So outside that, nobody wants to sell. Not even the guys that bought here. They don't want to sell that PBR property. They said the passive income is just going to be too high, and so they're keeping both. So I don't want you guys to rush into it and then have a regret. Then the plan here, let's investigate. Let's just keep, let's talk to Rodrigo. Let's first find the unit that you like in the price point you need, and then we do some negotiating, and I'll explain to him like, hey, let's do this. Let's try to break this payment up into this format because they have another payment in Las Terrenas that's probably around this time frame, et cetera, et cetera. But in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll talk to the team, and let's keep yours on the market.
Okay.
Good.
Yep, it sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries, guys. No worries at all. What time are we hopping on that call again? We're going to be hopping on at 4:30, right? 3:30?
Any time tonight works for us.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So I think we kind of have a rough game plan.
Yep.
And I think we'll be able to make it work where you can kind of diversify and you have both options at play and kind of secure something here at the right price. And yeah, when you come here, you will love it. And I can tell from talking to you guys, this is, I think, a little more your speed. That beach is for everybody, and you'll love it. You'll love vacationing there, and you'll love maybe meeting family out there and stuff like that. But this is where you would want to live.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we can't argue that. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, and we'll hopefully catch up later on.
That's great, though. I'll start doing some videos. There's actually do you guys have a dog?
We have two.
Because there is I'm going to be doing a video because my clients also that just bought here have a golden lab, and there's actually a pet store, not a pet store, a veterinary clinic that is unreal right here inside Cap Cana as well. So
Nice.
That's really cool too.
Good stuff.
All right, guys.
Well, we'll catch up later on.
Let's do it. And any questions, never hold back. Just fire it off. I'm always going to respond. So you can just type it, send it, and I'll respond to you guys right away.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kash.
Okay, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I hope that helped you guys out. It was a really great call. I was leaving the gym, and they were asking great questions. And the insight that I was giving, I think, was spot on based on the circumstance or the timing of their call, because I just had clients come in, fell in love with Cap Cana, sight unseen, just absolutely loved it. Okay, so some of those points are key, but guys, we can analyze these things for you in any way you want. If you're trying to make those decisions one-on-one, we can get you through that. If we're going to go a little bit deeper into specific markets, I've got my team over there in Las Terrenas. I've also got the team over here in Cap Cana, Punta Cana. We're able to guide you guys and make sure that you can find a place that you love where you live. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Please remember, hit that notification button. Okay, critical notification button. That is essential, because that way you're first to find out. All right, guys, love where you live. Talk to you soon.